Once upon a time, in a small, peaceful village, there was a young boy named Roronoa Zoro. He was born into a world where the strong ruled and the weak were often oppressed. Zoro, however, was determined to change this world and fight for justice. From a very young age, he showed a natural talent for swordsmanship, which was passed down from his father, a renowned samurai. Zoro's dream was to become the greatest swordsman in the world. To do so, he practiced tirelessly, training with wooden swords and facing any challenge that came his way. He believed that strength should be used for good, and he vowed to protect the innocent from those who would harm them. When Zoro was a young boy, he was determined to prove himself by entering a swordsmanship tournament. There, he met a skilled swordswoman named Kuina, who was just as talented as him. They quickly became rivals, always pushing each other to become better. Zoro was sure he would one day defeat her and achieve his dream, but tragedy struck. Kuina died in an accident, and Zoro was devastated. Before her death, Kuina had told Zoro that no matter how hard he trained, she would always be better than him. After her passing, Zoro swore an oath to honor her memory by becoming the greatest swordsman in the world. He decided to leave his village and seek out the legendary swordsman of the world, intending to grow stronger and eventually fulfill his promise. Zoro's journey took him across vast lands, and through perilous adventures, he encountered powerful enemies, ruthless pirates, and even people who tried to manipulate him for their own gain. But through it all, Zoro stayed true to his code of honor. Never back down, never run from a fight, and always protect the helpless. One fateful day, Zoro was found by a pirate named Monkey D. Luffy, who was on a mission to form a crew of brave individuals to find the legendary treasure called the One Piece. Luffy recognized Zoro's potential and asked him to join his crew. Though Zoro had never considered the life of a pirate, he saw this as an opportunity to grow stronger and accepted Luffy's offer. Zoro became the first member of the Straw Hat Pirates. Zoro's fighting style, known as Santorio or three-sword style, was unique. He wielded 3 swords, one in each hand and one in his mouth, a technique he developed through years of training. His battles were fierce and often pushed him to the limit, but he never faltered in his quest for strength. As Zoro traveled with Luffy and the rest of the crew, he grew not only as a swordsman but also as a person. He learned the value of friendship, teamwork, and loyalty. The crew faced many challenges, together fighting powerful foes, navigating dangerous seas, and seeking out new adventures, but Zoro's resolve never wavered. One of his most important battles took place against a powerful swordsman named the world's greatest swordsman. Mihawk tested Zoro's abilities, and while Zoro lost the battle, he learned invaluable lessons about his own strength and limitations. Mihawk, impressed by Zoro's determination and willpower, recognized Zoro as a worthy rival. This encounter fueled Zoro's ambition even more, and he vowed to one day surpass Mihawk and become the greatest swordsman in the world. Zoro's loyalty to his friends was unmatched. One of his most defining moments came when Luffy and the crew were in danger. Zoro was forced to face the enemy captain, Bartholomew Kuma, who was far stronger than him. Knowing the stakes, Zoro didn't hesitate to protect his comrades at all costs. In one of the most heroic acts of his life, Zoro offered to sacrifice himself to save Luffy. He fought Kuma's forces with everything he had, but he was outmatched. When it seemed like all hope was lost, Zoro, without thinking of his own safety, took on the immense pain and suffering of his wounds to protect Luffy. His willpower was unbreakable, and despite the overwhelming odds, Zoro showed what true loyalty and honor meant. The legacy of Zoro's journey was far from over, and as he continued to fight alongside Luffy and the Straw Hat Pirates, his dream of becoming the greatest swordsman in the world burned brighter than ever. He never stopped striving for strength, always pushing himself to the limit in every fight, and never abandoning his principles. Zoro's courage, determination, and willingness to protect his friends made him one of the most respected and admired warriors in the world. His story became one of inspiration to those who sought to follow in his footsteps, showing them that true strength comes not only from skill and power, but from an unwavering heart and a commitment to the ones you love. Zoro's legacy as a warrior of justice, a loyal friend, and an unstoppable swordsman lived on, and his dream of becoming the greatest swordsman continued to guide him toward his ultimate goal. Moral of the story: true strength comes from within and is defined not only by physical power, but by one's determination, loyalty, and willingness to protect others. Zoro teaches us that no matter how difficult the journey, staying true to our values and persevering through adversity will lead us to greatness.